For better or worse, General Eric Shinseki's distinguished 38-year Army career has been largely reduced to these 29 words, uttered in a Senate committee almost 6 years ago.
I would say that what's been mobilized to this point, something on the order of several 100,000 soldiers are probably a figure that would be required.
That off-the-cuff guesstimate, just a month before the invasion, of how many U.S. troops it would take to secure Iraq turned Shinseki into a poster boy for Bush administration critics. For years, they've argued the general's sage advice for a larger ground force was ignored by his civilian bosses, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld and his deputy Paul Wolfowitz, who famously dismissed the high-end estimate as wildly off the mark. In naming Shinseki as his pick for Veterans Secretary, President-elect Obama seemed to be subtly rebuking Rumsfeld, calling Shinseki someone who always stood on principle.
No one will ever doubt that this former Army Chief of Staff has the courage to stand up for our troops and our veterans.
But Shinseki has his critics too, who say in fact he never stood up to Rumsfeld, never pressed for more troops for Iraq, and when asked in a private meeting of the Joint Chiefs if he had concerns about the war plans, never said a word, according to two people who were in the room. Asked by Newsweek 2 years ago to respond to the criticism he didn't press his concerns, Shinseki emailed back, "Probably that's fair, not my style." The myth about Shinseki is that he spoke truth to power and was punished for it. The facts suggest a different, less complimentary narrative that, well aware his views were unwelcome at the Pentagon, he simply kept them to himself and retired a few months later. Jamie McIntyre, CNN, The Pentagon.